Hello everyone and welcome back to Heatblur's Cold War server and welcome back to the MiG-21. Said in my last video, I really do enjoy this server still. It's just having a bit of a rough patch right now. Really hope it does see it through because it is really fun to just jump on and get some air combat, which is exactly what I did here. This is on the new Persian Gulf map that they have added to the server. Still very heavily banked with F4s, but still took 21 up and had a lot of fun. So to begin with, I was just flying out on my own and had a really fun couple of sessions here, and it's been a while since I've done a docs debrief, and so I thought I'd just go through that here, talking through my experience, what I thought I learned, what I could do better, and just sharing this really fun pair of sessions with you. So this first one didn't turn out too great. This was me just flying out on my own. You can see there's a load of F4s in this region. I do get one locked up there. Realise it is well above me, having to pull right up to get nose on, fire off a Fox 1. He's flaring it, but that's not going to do anything to a Fox 1. There we go, he goes down there. So it's pretty nice. That was just after taking off. Nice little early kill to start the day. The problem is that I am now very high out in the middle of nowhere, and you can see there are 3 planes within 10 kilometers of me, 2 of them heading straight for me. I don't have eyes on any of them. I'm just trying to get down to the deck. Unfortunately, one's come up from behind. Should really have been doing preemptive flares there as I tried to escape. That was just me getting caught in a really bad situation. And then get a nice little fly past of these 2 F4s in formation. So not exactly the best start, but I got a kill, so it's not the worst start either. So just took back off, headed back to the front here. And once again, we've got plenty of F4s to choose from, really covering this entire area. Turn on my radar. Nicely, I got the IFF. It really helps with these kind of very cluttered situations. Got multiple friendlies, multiple hostiles. This is really helping me pick out the hostiles. See missiles being traded there. That was an F4 that just went for guns, and then just got third-partied, so he goes down, so I don't need to worry about him. That is a frogfoot crossing me on the other side. Another missile in the air though, and turn around to see another F4 here. Unfortunately, he does splash my teammate before I can really do anything about it. Now, I didn't really have time to check, but there you can see there's still 3 hostile planes in this fight, or very close to this fight, but do have a bunch of friendlies as well. Do get tone here, but not too happy about the angle, so decide to go for a little bit of a high yo here just to stay on this guy's tail. Roll back in. Now I am nicely right on his tail. He's extending away. I fire off the Fox 2, don't think he sees me at all here, and get a good hit. And there we go, part of his wing snapped off. He is very much out of control. But kind of learning my lesson from before, I'm immediately going evasive here, trying to find where these other targets are, because again, still 2 of them alive. Guy I hit there does go and bail. Missile in the air, but doesn't seem to be at me, thankfully, 'cause I didn't really see what launched that. Someone does explode in the air, and then we've got another F4 here heading in right above me. Luckily, a enemy F4 has been shot down there, so it is now just this last F4. Interestingly, he's only just dropping his tanks there, so he was hanging on to them for a fair bit. Now, diving in here, you can see I do have a friendly, I believe that's a Mirage, right on this F4's tail. So I'm really just entering here in support, keeping an eye on things. There's not another plane for a good long distance, so I'm happy just to keep pushing this guy, hoping that the other plane is going to keep him busy, and I'm just kind of waiting for an opportunity. So trying to keep my energy here, trying not to turn too hard. He's climbing up and away, which means he is bleeding off his speed here. And the ally is still following him. Fortunately, he does have a lot of thruster weight, and he's definitely using it here to get away, but he does recommit here. He probably could have escaped if he had have just extended there. Then again, that F1 is right on this guy's tail. So here you can see just how many of the friendlies are left in the area. This is a very much in trouble F4. Do finally get decent enough position, far off of Fox 2 as he's going straight. And there we go. So definitely couldn't have done that without the friendlies in the area, keeping him busy, and it's just a case of me biding my time until I had a good opening. There we go. 2 splashes, so quite happy with that. Now this is just a few minutes later, got some high altitude contacts that I started climbing for. Let's see this pair here, Sabre and F5 at metrics 3 and 3.6, so trying to find them, trying to get a radar solution on them. I've been flying 2 Fox 2s, 2 Fox 1s on this one. It's one of my favourite general loadouts, and so I'm down to just the Fox 1s here, but nicely this guy's heading straight at me, so far off the Fox 1 and Sabre. Sabre doesn't have exactly great RWR, and so this guy's just staying nice, straight, head-on splash. The R3Rs are really good at those head-on engagements. So we go, feeling very happy at this point. That is now a total of 3, and I just turn around and get eyes on this other plane. I think that's a missile going by my screen there, it must not have tracked. But there we go, got the F5 there that fired off a missile that didn't track. There we go, that is now 4. I am now out of missiles, and so do start trying to return to base. Unfortunately, as I'm doing so, this F5 is just continuously pursuing me, and he ends up being a little bit too close for my comfort. I don't really want to try and land with this guy following me 5 kilometers behind, so I decide to turn and engage. I do lock in here partly just to try and get him worried, make his RWR start beeping at him. Also does help me get eyes on a little bit, just with using the radar screen to point me in the right direction. But here he's coming in. I'm not sure if he quite sees me at this point. I try and get my nose up, but he is a little bit too high. I gave a burst, but this is really just a very hopeful burst more than anything. And zoom by and just see him turning there, so whether or not he saw me initially, he definitely saw the guns that I shot up at him. So we're now entering the 2 circle. I'm not feeling too worried at this point. I do seem to have a little bit better positioning. He is turning very aggressively. I'm just trying to keep relaxed. The MiG-21 can do really well if you don't pull too hard with it. And so I'm just doing my best here to keep my speed, try and keep that angle of attack needle into the yellow. Unfortunately there I just realised that, hey, there's another one right behind me taking pot shots at me. Now at this point I'm feeling a lot less safe. 2 on 1 is not what I wanted. Didn't quite get the nose high enough there. I did fire off some rounds, but nothing hit home. At this point really deciding that I've really pushed my luck too much engaging, and I'm just going to try and get out of this fight if I can. So just push max afterburner, push in the emergency afterburner and just start pushing it. Dip my nose down here just to get that ridge in the way, just in case a Fox 1 has been fired at me. Doing my best to check behind, but doesn't seem like anything's coming for now. So breathe a bit of a sigh of relief as I see that he's now 8 kilometers away, and then come in for my landing. And been a while since I landed the MiG-21, so it was trying to take everything nice and easy, nice and carefully, come in slow, landing flaps on full, and I forgot to lower the gears. The binding I have for the MiG-21's gears is different from every other plane because it's a 3-position system, and I forgot about that. Tried to lower them at the end there, but yeah, it doesn't have the power to push itself up. But that's nothing that a quick rearm repair can't fix. And then I got back in the air. This time I am flying out alongside Flame Haze, who has joined me in his Mirage. And get eyes on these two, see one plane go down, and can see the shape of the F5 there, being the F5 is the one that survived that engagement. So trying to push him as much as I can. Do still have eyes, or thought I did. That was a boat. So now I am kind of a bit blind. He's reversed his turn. I'm trying to come back around. Again, feeling quite happy. Do seem to be winning the rate fight against him. Forgot to master arm after the landing and repair, which is a little bit awkward. But luckily I noticed before anything too bad happened. And then as Flame pulls onto his tail, he just goes into the water. I don't know how that happened. Maybe Flame gets a maneuver kill there for being on the guy's tail. I don't know exactly what happened. He didn't seem to rip his wings, but he goes down. Definitely not calling that as my kill, since I didn't really do anything to make him go into the ground there. So this is just a couple of minutes later, again following EWR, spot this F4 with nav lights in a dogfight, trying to come in. I've got decent lock on him, so just trying to get within Fox 1 range here. Just checking, see I'm in range, fire one off. And as I do, someone else also fires. I do feel kind of bad about this. The other guy should have got the kill there. Unfortunately, my missile hit second, and that killed the pilot, and so it awarded it to me. So the game awarded me that kill. I don't know if I award myself that kill. So I'm still kind of counting this as 4 kills so far on this life. Yeah, that should have gone to the other guy. I just had already fired my missile by the time he came out of it. Now, got this other F4 coming in. This is again just a few minutes later. This is really quite a busy session on a weekend. It was good to see the server so full again. But here you can see I'm kind of struggling. I saw him when he was in the contrail. When he came out the contrail, he passed through the sun. I didn't get eyes back on him afterwards. Trying to get eyes on. He is really high compared to me, so I'm desperately trying to gain altitude. Trying to get a radar signature. That friendly, I believe, is Flame Haze that I am picking up there. Trying to search around for him. At this point he's gone well to my left. There is a missile in the air. We're not entirely sure what that's from, but I'm pretty sure that was the enemy firing at Flame. Flame calls him that he's got a lock on the hostile. I'm still looking. He's now already 11 kilometers away. That launch there is Flame launching. And then you can just about see him. Bang. Down he goes. There we go. So Flame gets that nice kill, and then things get really quiet all of a sudden. No enemy fighter contacts, but we did find ourselves 60 kilometers away from their E3, so we thought, why not? We'll go for it. Sometimes E3s in this are vulnerable, so we thought we may as well try. Flares being absolutely dumped there as Flame gets there first and tries to engage. Now his missiles for some reason didn't want to lock after the flares. He couldn't get tone again, so he goes in for guns. Can maybe just about make out a couple of pixels of the gunfire there. And goes in for a guns pass. And he rammed. And the AWACS takes it, goes... Flame Haze goes down in flames. 1 kill for the AWACS there. I decide, right, okay, that means that I may as well go in. Not really quite learned my lesson from what Flame did there, in that the impact of a plane should be taking out an E3. There is a very obvious solution for why it didn't die there. But don't really think too much about it, just think that, oh, maybe it just flared away his missile, so here I'm going in with Fox 1s, can't flare away a Fox 1, get the radar lock there, so I'm starting to get the radar tone, wait until I'm in maximum range, wait a couple of seconds just to make sure, fire one off. Let's quickly vaguely check 6 as that's going, just keeping this on. And the AWACS goes and eats that again. And at this point, kind of start to realise that, oh, wait, sometimes the AWACS are immortal. This one is quite far forward, so we thought it wasn't going to be one of the unkillable ones. Just to make sure I go in for guns. Misses several times. There, put loaded bullet across the wings, that should snap the wing off. So yeah, we've just wasted 2 missiles, 1 plane against an unkillable AWACS there. So I think I need to go back over the rules to the Persian Gulf server and work out exactly where the unkillable AWACS are. Because this is off to the side, this is not in the protected area. But clearly this is an unkillable AWACS. So, not too much later, I was returning and then saw this 2 ship of F4s coming in. I was quite high, they were quite low, so I was trying to dip down so my radar can actually see them. Do see something go into the water there. I can see on the kill feed that is these F4s killing a MiG-21. Which unfortunately does mean that I am now going up against 2 hostiles on my own, which isn't too ideal. And I've also not quite realised that there are 2 of them. It was very obvious on the EWR, but I don't think that quite clicked in my head here. Now we head up. I snap on the rudder there, turn a little bit too hard, so rather waste that round, but at least we didn't collide with each other. So yeah, I really am trying to turn hard to keep up with him. He is turning incredibly hard here. And I think this is actually a mistake on his part. He does get his nose around, but does not manage to get the missile to track. I'm not sure if that was a bore sight Sparrow or if that was a very hopeful Fox 2. Either way, it doesn't track. And the good news is, because he really tugged his nose around on that turn, he bled off a huge amount of speed, and the F4 does struggle. Now, I am in a little bit of trouble because I said there are 2 of them, and at this point I do know that there are 2 of them. So, I can see them both there, trying to decide which one to go for. I am now making the mistake of pulling too hard. You can see me wing stall a couple of times. Doing my best to try and stay alive. Do at this point decide, right, okay, definitely need the emergency afterburner at this point. I don't have huge amounts of fuel, but I'm just going to need it. This guy starts to extend. I'm really nervous he's dragging me for the other guy, but do hold it just enough to get a missile off. Don't bother keeping an eye on that, I don't have the time, so that is just a Fox 2 that is going to either hit or not hit. I'm just trying to be defensive, try and get eyes on this other guy. Really good thing I did, because he comes in right behind me, just misses, and I do get the splash on that other one. So very nicely, this is now a one-on-one. I still have one Fox 2, and after that manoeuvre, I am now in much better position here. I don't quite have the energy for this, but just keeping my nose on just long enough to get the missile off. He flares, but he was going really slow there, and so does take a hit. These are R13s I'm using, which do have a heavier payload than the R60. Normally that would kill an F4, but I'm not sure at this point, so do just follow him in. But he does punch in, punch out there. So take that as a win, head home. So really happy there, that's 6 kills, 7 according to the game, but I'm taking 6 of them. Would love to say that I managed to make it home and land that, but unfortunately I didn't. For some reason the stick got locked and just wouldn't respond, so I couldn't control myself. And then on top of that, the fuel gauge was 100 pounds of fuel, overstating the amount that I had. And I didn't make it back despite my best efforts. Burning all that fuel in the emergency afterburner was just a little bit too much. So not much else I could do other than just bail at that point, but still happy. 6 kill run and a very fun little session. Hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I will be able to do more Heatblur Cold War going forward. Until next time, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.